bombardier. He lets it fly. But tonight is a night about Shaun Livingston. He scored more points in a playoff game than he's ever scored tonight. Led the Warriors in scoring with 20. Welcome outside of Oracle Arena. Dusk has not yet arrived, but it will shortly. We'll begin our fireworks show, and the countdown will begin. 3 more victories, and they will be the NBA champions yet again. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, Kelena Azubuike. We thought the Splash Brothers would get it going in the fourth quarter. They went back-to-back on threes, but they never quite got it going, Saint. Yet, led by Livingston, Iguodala, Barbosa, Anderson, Varejao, and Harrison Barnes, the same group we saw take over Game 7. They still won the game handily tonight.
45-7 from the bench. They murdered the Cleveland bench, and it was led by the guys you just said. And you know what? Just love the mid-range game of Livingston. Kelena calls it the old man's game. Well, I'll tell you what, he gets into that paint and he gets that mismatch, and he just rises up over the top at 6'7", and he has beautiful rhythm. How about Andre Iguodala, whether it was dribble penetration, making shots, deflections on steals. And Leandro, he's amazing. He really is.
He's still blurry. The bench boys got it done. The story of the night. Livingston was wonderful. The pull-up game was there. He got back to exposing people. The mid-range game. He came out of the game. I could tell he was going to have a good game. He was looking lively. He was moving on defense, too, working. Then you got Andre Iguodala. Remember the 2 strips in a row he had? Back-to-back possessions. Leandro Barbosa. I've said this before. You would think at this stage in his career he'd be just the Brazilian, but you got to add that blur in there still, the Brazilian blur. He was great, and if you're Tyronn Lue, you got to be feeling really bad about this game. You hold the Warriors stars, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, at 20 points and get beat by 15? Well, he's got to be going, what is going on here?
Cleveland took the lead briefly at 64-63, then again 68-67. If Steve Kerr had a bad team to coach, he would obliterate every whiteboard in all of basketball. He kept breaking whiteboards. Our BMW turning point, though, you're down 68-67. Steph with a miss, but Livingston is there for a putback.
He was everywhere.
And then Steph Curry behind the back will go in for a bank. Andre Iguodala will make a 3. You close the quarter on a 7-0 run, and you go up 74-68. And then coming out to start the fourth quarter, Iguodala made a 2, Barbosa made a 2, Livingston made a 2, Varejao got going, Barnes got going, Livingston got going. When it was all done, Saintly, you went off on a 21-4 run. You were down 1, and now you're up 16. And Steph Curry and Klay Thompson never stepped on the floor. Or Draymond Green, for that matter. Was he out there at all?
Unbelievable. You know, we got to mention Harrison and we got to mention Green. They were both terrific tonight. And there's Klay and Steph, you know, behind their guys. Strength in numbers. These guys believe in each other. And when you're coaching and you're playing like that, you leave those guys in there.
Right. They went on their biggest runs without Steph and Klay on the floor. And the second quarter, LeBron James was on the floor for the other team, and they still went on that run. Everybody chipped in. Like you said, I think we got to give Harrison Barnes some love, too. He came out really aggressive.
I liked him tonight.
He was exposing Kyrie Irving early, blew by J.R. Smith. They were just cutting through him like cheese in that first quarter there for a little bit. They got off to a nice start. The second quarter, the Cleveland Cavaliers kind of came back a little bit, but then the bench mob just took over, and it was pretty much over from there.
The Warriors had 7 players in double figures. This team is so unusual. When you look at the way they played last year and this year, and it starts with Steve Kerr. You know, Saintly, you tell me every playoffs, the bench, you're going to have to pare it down. But he does not do it. There's some nights if the bench is not playing well, he's going to yank you. But if you're playing well, he will play you, and he played tonight like it was a January game. It was his regular rotation, the way he subbed out first quarter right into the second quarter.
And I find it interesting with the bigs. He's going to go with who's playing well. Whether it's Bogues for a little bit, Festus with the energy. Andy got in there and did a heck of a job. We didn't see Mo Buckets. We may see him Sunday. We saw one big on the floor quite a bit, and yet they still can go small against these guys very easily because what they're doing is playing 3 linebackers up front. Those guys are about 6'8", 250 apiece. and frankly, they can't do it defensively.
It really is strength in numbers, Galena. When you look at the guys, Harrison Barnes had a terrific opening quarter. He had 9 of those 13 in the first half. Andre Iguodala is your first sub off the bench, makes 5 of 9 floor, a couple of big free throws, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, clamp down, dig down defense on James all night. Livingston's your star. And Leandro Barbosa, he scored 11 points in 11:25. He was your Mo Buckets tonight. Instant OLB. But we're going to single out, Galena, our Wendy's player of the game. Shaun Livingston, his best game as a Warrior, his best postseason game ever. Got that jump hook to crawl over the rim. He played 26 minutes off the bench, made 8 of 10 from the floor, and scored 20 points tonight. He was the Warriors' leading scorer tonight.
Well, you just got to be happy for Shaun Livingston. Ever since that Houston series, actually the Blazers series, he's kind of been having a rough time. He got back to his game tonight. The turnaround jumpers were there. Like I said, he was working early. He was moving well early. He came out aggressive. He was active on the defensive end. He was making opportune cuts. He was flashing to the ball. Beautiful mid-range game was there. He was all over the place getting offensive rebounds, putbacks, coming off ball screens, pull-ups, getting to it. He's so long, so it's tough to bother him once he goes up for that shot. You want to try to get him when he's on the ground, but once he goes up for that shot, he's so long, it's really tough to bother him, and he had it going. He caught fire there.
What a postseason he's having, St. Lee. The Houston series, Steph plays 2 halves. He saves you there. Early in the Portland series, he was terrific. For a while, he kind of lost his legs. It was so good to see him play like this tonight. Now you got Iguodala back. You got Livingston back. You got your veteran guys off the bench. You have to have every game. They have refound their legs here just in time.
I just think it's huge. You need that kind of depth. That's where Cleveland's shortcoming is. They're not productive off that bench. And our guys came in with the experience and played terrific. And, Pop, are we getting the signal?
Yes, St. Lee. Yes.
All right.
This is the point where St. Jean takes a sabbatical.
Time to turn around and watch.
You know what? Why don't we do Bookie's big-time bifocals now, because St. Lee won't watch. Throw on your bifocals. It is time for Bookie's big-time bifocals. Unless you want to watch the fireworks show. But Leandro Barbosa, he's never met a shot he's turned down in his life, and we love it.
Hey, he's still blurry. He's still got the quickness. You see the jab step to the right there. That is a tough shot. Going to your left, shooting with your right. Here he comes down in transition. The crossover behind the back. Me and Saint were jumping up and down when he did that. Look at this move. Beautiful. He's got the handle. A beautiful floater to get it up over Shumpert. That's no problem. And then spotting up in the corner. Beautiful jump shot. Like you said, he's never made a three-pointer. He's never met a shot that he doesn't like, period. That's working, too. He saw some go in early, and then the three-point shot is working. Then a nice pump fake and replaces. Beautiful pass back from Draymond Green. The floater's working. He had it all working tonight. It was the bench mob, and they did the job tonight. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, 20 points combined, and they still win by 15 points. That's remarkable.
3 more of these fireworks show. They can win on the road. We won't have them there. 3 more wins, and the Warriors are going to win the title back-to-back. You know, Leandro Barbosa, we kid him about how aggressive he is, but that's his role on this team. When he comes in early second quarter, Steph leaves. Steph played the whole first quarter tonight. Klay did not come back to begin the second quarter. You're not playing Mo Buckets tonight because of the matchup with Channing Frye's not favorable. His role when he comes in is to score, and he is not afraid to shoot the basketball.
I thought what epitomized this whole game, he got in there, he matched up with Love, and he's so smart. He knows him like a book. Right away, he draws an offensive foul. Now, that gets in Love's head. And I thought that was just brilliant defense. And his knowledge of their team and strengths and weaknesses, I think, really plays in his favor. I think he's a factor in this series.
The 3 veteran guys off the bench, Leandro Barbosa, Shaun Livingston, and it all starts with Andre Iguodala. They did not start him. I love the fact they just played their game. We're not matching up with you. You match up with us. We're starting Bogut. We're starting Barnes. We'll bring Iguodala in when we want to. And when they brought him in, Kalani, is your first sub off the bench.